So there's a lot of things that we can talk about with bottles next, but I think the one that a lot of people probably want to hear most about is the user interface. So right now, Bottles has a GTK, is it 4 interface?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. And the plan is to also have a interface made in Vue.js.
That's the plan.
So,
There will be two different client
mhm,
in Next. One in GTK4, as you said, and one in Electron with using Vue.js 3.
mhm. And you made it very clear in the Bottles Next post that the GTK interface isn't going away. You said it multiple times, but I have seen a couple of people who think it's going away. It's never going to be here again, but that's not the case. There is still going to be both, correct?
Yes.
Why do you want to keep both around? Why not just have the new interface and do away with the old one?
uh, uh, because probably a lot of people will hate me because of the if I drop the GTK client.
Mhm,
Because Bottles at the time when I published Bottles as a Flatpak, I had no idea of the GNOME guidelines,
mhm,
um, and I was not following them. But when we started following them, thanks to Noel and other developers who joined the project, uh, we started following them very strictly, and a lot of users, maybe GNOME fans, started to join the Bottles project because of that. So if I stop, I have a very big vision of Bottles next with Electron, the next mode, classic mode, etc. But dropping the GTK for client will create just a big confusion of people thinking that Bottles is just uh, died, that
mhm, mhm,
dropped a
mhm.
shit. Like, so I'm not very satisfied of keeping the GT4 client because I have no fun developing GTK4 anymore because of many things.
Mhm,
But we had to do that.
mhm.
It's mm, just a political decision.
Are you worried that trying to maintain them both at the same time is going to add like a lot of extra maintenance burden, or is the GTK4 interface basically in the state you want it to be in, and it's sort of making minor tweaks from now on?
Mm, no, I mean, we have to create the new GTK4 interface from scratch.
Mhm.
We can use no. Uh, we have to drop the current GTK4 interface. We can't use the current interface.
Mhm.
So we have to put some effort on that side, but thanks to the new structure we are developing, that will require just probably just a month of development. So
Oh wow, okay.
not really a problem. I mean, I'm not the one which will work on that side, so it's fine.
Well, that makes sense. It would be weird that you don't want to write more GTK4 code and then you're going to rewrite everything from scratch. Um, that would
Mhm.
certainly be an interesting way to go about it. Now, I know you've talked about in the blog post that you want to add a bunch of new features, and we'll get into those features. A bunch of new features with the Vue.js interface. Is the plan to have the GTK4 interface and the Vue.js interface equivalent in the features they have, or are there going to be some things that are in one but not the other?
Uh, Probably the GTK4 version will not have the next mode, just the classic mode. I'm
Okay.
not sure about that, but that's probably how things will go.
Mm-hmm. Is there any particular reason why that's going to be the case, or is it just a matter of getting it working and it's a lot of extra work to do so?
There will be probably some extra work to do, so that's the main reason. But I can think also of a problem in product identity. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Bottles is not just a project that we develop in our spare time. It's a product of my company, and we have some features which absolutely need to be in the Vue.js interface, not in the GTK interface,
Mm-hmm.
to not put to not duplicate effort over the time.
Okay, that makes sense. So, I is it correct to say that you would like to see the project shift more into that direction of Vue.js, but GTK4 isn't going away. It's just there as a way to keep people happy, as you would hope more people go to the newer interface.
Yup, yup, yes, that's absolutely the thing.
Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of people probably are asking the question, why Vue.js? Why Electron? I understand that you don't particularly want to write GTK code, but the most obvious place to go if you're not using GTK would be something like Qt, for example. What is Vue.js the only thing that you had considered, or were there other things you were thinking about trying and maybe just didn't work out?
I considered a Qt, but it's pretty confusing to me.
Right.
I tried many time to create an application using Qt, but it's very, very, very confusing to me. So I say that the first with bottlenecks,
Mhm.
the first thing I said is that I have to have fun developing this version
Okay.
and using some technology like GTK, which I love GTK, absolutely I love GTK, but I using something like GTK, Qt, and other toolkit, which does not make me happy because of many things. That's not cool.
No, that is
And
go on.
Vue.js is a very powerful framework,
Mhm.
Node.js framework, of course. And I use this framework for my company for
Right.
like every single project. So that's the most obvious toolkit to use,
So
framework to use.
so it's something you already had experience in. It's not something you're just suddenly learning for the sake of doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.